there are some more sophisticated cameras that just with this one cable, I can take audio out, I can take video out, I can power the camera, like I can control. There are some PTZ cameras you see, and the only thing that is there's no HDMI connected to it. Now, those are cameras that are NDI enabled. NDI is network device interface, network enabled. So when you say camera is network enabled, it means that that camera has the power to take video and to transmit video via Ethernet. Do you understand? Our cameras, yes, are network enabled, but not so strong a network enabled camera. So I rather rely more on HDMI to take video out of it. I'm explaining this because you might be in situations where you see, maybe you go to a TV station, and then you see that the PTZ cameras, there is only one cable that went into the camera. You'll be wondering, how did they take the feed? Do you understand? This one cable can do all of that. Let me give you, again, please, this should stay, again, it should stay among us. The fact that we have internet coming to this PoE switch, if you're connected to this PoE switch with the central IP, you can see all our camera feed. Do you understand what I just said? Aside seeing this video, these cameras now on the switcher where Unyime selects different cameras, each of these cameras have access IP. IP is like the identity. Now, each of our devices have IP. If I pick my phone and I know the IP of this camera, and because I'm connected to this network now, I'm connected to GAM AP or GAM, and I go and type the IP of this camera, let's say 1445. That's not the IP. The IP starts with 0 something dot something something. Let's say I type 1445 and I click enter, and it's the IP of this camera. I'm going to see this camera feed from anywhere in this room. So far I'm connected to this router. So that's how the Ethernet thing works. I don't know if you understand. I know I've been in situations where they will tell me, oh, camera, this is not working. And you told me that and I did not move. It's because on my laptop, I just key in the IP address of that camera. I know the IP address of each of these cameras, and I just key in the IP address of that camera and press enter on my laptop, and the interface load. And most times that's how I used to monitor feed. That's how I used to catch him when they're sleepy on something. I just on my laptop. So you think that laptop that is in front of me, that maybe I'm on some YouTube. Yes, I can be on YouTube seeing what's happening, but at the same time I can see the camera feed without me standing up to go to that spot. Bro Tibe does it a lot. I don't know if Bro Sade does it. Bro Tibe does it like a normally. You will come, you open different tabs and just chill, and you see that his screen is like he's doing programming. In between, he's switching to different things. So I just say I should give you that a tip. So signal goes from this guy to power all these cameras. So when you come and you say, oh, the camera is not on, the camera does not have a special switch. Yes, it has a power button behind. Apart from that power button, if this guy is not on, there is no way you can power on these cameras. I don't know if I'm making any sense. Yes, there's no way you can power on these cameras unless you're going to plug it to individual socket. And when you do plug it to individual socket, you won't be able to control this camera, any of these cameras. So what the PoE does is like an extension, is what connects, is like the, how do I call it, the brain box. Is what connects the camera, the controller, which is the joystick. That thing that Unyime, if you've seen her move like she's driving a truck or something. This is it. So this guy is connected to the PoE. Everything is connected to the PoE. Because this guy has an assigned IP address. I now put the IP address, each of these camera IP address assigned to per button. So you see camera 1, camera 2 to about 7 cameras that this guy can control. So one person can sit comfortably and control 7 cameras. You know, sorry, we are not in the traditional settings where you have somebody on a AKVC camera type and they will be turning it and be calling you. We are on your camera now, please focus. Yeah, we are not in that setting. With this one, you can see 7 cameras and it's managed by one person. That's what the digital ecosystem can do for us. So now this guy is connected here, and you can assign each of these cameras to a button. By assigning, you can assign one to camera 1 on the on the controller. So once you just press camera 1, whatever you're doing is going to control camera 1. If you press camera 2 on the controller, whatever you do is going to control camera 2. If you press 3, it will control camera 3. And then the HDMIs that are connected to these individual cameras goes into the video switcher. Do you understand? Which is here. Are you seeing? So you see, that this camera is connected to power here, but the HDMI that goes out from it comes to the video switcher. This one is connected to power here. The HDMI that goes out from there comes into the video switcher. This one is connected to power, or the HDMI. Okay, that's the HDMI. Then this one too, the HDMI that goes out, everything comes to the video mixer. Then on the video mixer, you can see the monitor screen that you use to monitor what is happening, the multiple cameras. You can monitor it from here. I don't know if it's making any sense. And then the guys, Joel and maybe Edima, whoever is projecting, their projection also comes into the video mixer. That's how you can have those split screen, where you have scripture one side and the pastor on the video one side. It's because the video guys are feeding the video mixer. The only thing the video mixer does is the video mixer is an encoder. It helps put audio and video in sync. Now, there was a time we used to suffer a lot where we have audio come from a different source and video from the camera. And when it comes, the laptop couldn't put the two of them together because of the requirements. The heavy tax, the burden on the laptop was just too much. The laptop couldn't carry. So we'll have the pictures move faster and audio come later. Or sometimes audio moves faster and pictures come later. But with the use of a video mixer, all of that burden of mismatch audio and video is taken away. I hope everybody's understanding me.
Yes,
okay. So then, at the video mixer level is where the mega splitting starts. Now you see that from the okay, I think this is, let me check something. Sorry. Okay, I'll come to audio. I think, okay, let me just scroll up. Now you see at the video mixer level, you see that this is the 5G router. The 5G router, before we used to connect the 5G router to a hub, to a splitter that can split the internet to multiple sources. Because at the time we had come to believe that the only way, and it still stands, it's just that I've had team members that are very stubborn and can pull individual stones. It's not a united stones. They can pull individual stones. I believe all of us, we know that internet is stronger when you feed your laptop from cables. Yes. We all agree. If today I was in a situation where the cable was dislodged and they said that it's better with Wi-Fi. I don't know if that was the case though, but that was what I understood. But in the real sense, internet from cable makes sense. So that was why we got the internet hub, the distribution hub. So with the distribution hub, we can send internet to the switcher. The switcher can take internet. Now you can stream YouTube direct from this guy. But because of our demands on many things, cutting snippets and doing other things, just different things, different graphics display we do, we also take the feed into the laptop. So you see, there is a signal coming out from the video switcher into the laptop. Are you seeing? Then from the laptop, we can as well, at the time, the design used to be from the laptop, we will feed Gamka. I will need to upgrade this design. It used to be from there, we will feed Gamka. Are you seeing? Recording Gamka overflow. But in our recent designs, again, we changed from Atem to another video mixer. Now, let me explain. So, Atem Mini gave us just 2 ports of output. One is the one that displays the multiple cameras, and the other port was the one that sends feed to the laptop. I don't know if you understand.
Via HDMI.
Via HDMI. But when we changed to the new video mixer, we had the opportunity to do, we had Type-C from here, and we also had HDMI. But I think that the HDMI port was bad earlier, and we couldn't use it, so we only relied, no, I think, okay, what happened was that the display here was bad earlier. So the only feed we could have was the feed that was coming from the, so there's preview and there's monitor feed. What the preview feed does is, preview feed is that feed that shows you the smaller box where you can see different cameras. Where the multi-feed, the monitor feed is what has gone out, what is going to display on YouTube. So because we did not have the the preview feed at the time, all we had was the multi-feed that goes on YouTube. So that port, I think at that time was when I made this design. But now we've gotten to a point where we have changed the video mixer to a better interface. Now that we have preview, we have monitor, we have SSD, like we have two type C out. On the other mixer, we had just one. So we were on a tight design. We couldn't split to different spots. But right now, the splitting is more better because we have a direct HDMI from this guy that comes. That's why you have audio and video on real time. If you've noticed, in recent time, our audio and the audio you're hearing on the speaker and the video, there is a slight latency, but it's not so much compared to before.
What is
Lateness.
latency?
Delay.
People should be asking when they know grammar, ask immediately, excuse me sir, what is latency? You will explain. I'm serious. Don't leave this place ignorant.
So now the new video mixer, the split here is different because feed goes to the laptop. Before now, if you turn off the laptop during meetings, when we're using the Atem Mini, Gamka will lose feed. So once the laptop starts misbehaving, there is no feed. But with this new video mixer, the laptop, in fact, with this new video mixer, we can stream YouTube successfully. We can do Gamka overflow or classroom or whatever overflow without any glitch. Even if there is no laptop, all of that can happen. So there's going to be a bit of, I'm going to give a different explanation at this point because of the change in the device here, this has been affected. I don't know if anybody is, have I lost anyone? Stop laughing, no. Ask question, no. I'm here to be as simple as possible. No. Now, so multi-feed lives here. Now, when it lives here, so let me explain something. I don't know if any of us know that HDMI from 30 meters up, there's something called a drop signal. Does anybody know? HDMI is the longest you can have for normal HDMI cable is 30 meters. Anything longer than 30 meters, if you like, use an extender. What an extender is that small thing. I brought it out. I don't know where I kept it. It's a small thing that you can use to plug. You know, HDMI has male and female. And there is a small stop gap that you can plug another HDMI cable, plug both the female into a male and extend the length. Now, if you do that with video, it's going to, when it comes to that place, the signal will break. Why? HDMI cables don't travel so long. They don't travel longer than 30 meters. Now, there's another breed or grade of HDMI cable that can travel longer, which is the fiber cables. The fiber cables can do 50 meters. I think that's the highest I've seen that's worked effectively. But when I calculated the distance from the third floor down to this place, I noticed that I will need about 70 to 80 meters. I needed surplus. You know, we take our cables through corners. If we were to pass it direct, I think 50 meters could have done the job. But because we needed surplus for the cables to move in different directions till it gets here, and to have a neat design, we had to use converters. So by converting, we got a small HDMI cable, 3 meters, that is plugged to this video mixer. So this video mixer gives an output, and the output comes to a, how do they call it? A HDMI splitter. This is what an HDMI splitter looks like. Sorry, I could have come. I didn't know I was going to be here. When I didn't know I was going to start with this. Is from what Brosade said, that I said, okay, so let me start with the floor design before we get to some other aspect. Now, the video lives here through an HDMI cable and enters into this guy. And this guy splits one of the signals to pastoral office. This guy splits another signal that comes down here. Remember I talked about distance? So because of the long distance, we bought something, a small device in Lagos. This is the other side of the device. This small device. It cost us about 120,000 at the time. This device enabled us to convert an HDMI signal to a Cat6, which is this internet cable. Now, with this internet cable, that HDMI signal can travel 300 meters. Do you understand? Yes. By 300 meters, it can go from here to Dunamis by cable. But with normal HDMI, it won't travel more than 50 meters. That is, with normal HDMI, it won't travel more than 30 meters. With fiber cable, it will travel 50. But with this Cat6 cable, it can travel 300. All by the use of the converter. So there is the converter on the other end that receives the signal, converts it to to Cat 6. Then the cable drives the signal down to this place and converts it back to HDMI, and it enters this guy. And this guy, what this guy does that is this guy now splits to classroom. So most of the times I get complaint, oh, there is no video signal in classroom, and I'll ask, is there video signal in GAMCA? There are reasons why I asked that question. I asked that question because of the design. And I think it will only but be wise for us to explain the design so that even the personnel operating from here, with the knowledge you have, you will know that when you have feed here, the problem is not from upstairs, the problem is from here.
So, sorry sir, please. So let's practicalize it. If there is no video signal in GAMCA, if you understand what we have just said, where do you think you should check? Where do you think you should, what point do you think you should go to check why there is no video signal in GAMCA? Following this diagram. Eh?
From upstairs.
From upstairs. If there's no video feed in pastoral office, where do you think you should check? First. Think very carefully. I finished. That's the way you should go.
Is it?
That's how you think to understand this. You understand the whole. I don't care. I don't. It's not important for me now. What is important to me right now is that you understand this system in such a way that when there is a problem, that's why when there is a problem, it says something is wrong. You will hardly see me running around. I will just put and say, where is that problem coming from? Sometimes you see me tell you, don't worry, if you're will solve the problem. You see me do things like that, right? From here, and I start sending you a message. This is not working. This is not working, because I know it has nothing to do with any system that we have here. That's because I understand the system. Now I'm not bragging about it. I just understand the system. You understand? If you don't understand the system, that's how you will start going up. Hey, there's no signal. This is happening. You start running up and down, and it might not be necessary. It might be something that you would have just gone to somewhere and touched something and gone back to sit down. So you see why we have confusion all the time. Eh? A lot of that confusion is just based off of the fact that we don't know our system. Do you understand? It is the whole point for this thing. I'm just being emphatic now so you understand and pay attention. So that when there's a problem next time, you know exactly where to go to. Instead of running around like we usually do, like headless chicken. I see the way we run around, it's very tiring, it's exhausting. So now you know where to look for when it has to do with video, right? It's the same thing with audio. When we get there, it's going to be the same thing with even lighting. When there's a spark, this guy will ask, where did this spark? He can literally tell you what to do, even if it's on the phone, if you have the mind to go and touch those kinds of things. Because I was on this video one day, thunder struck and charged all the rechargeable bulbs in this place. I'm not playing. Who was there? Who was there? I'm not playing. He charged it and we used it for the BBS for the entire time. They think I'm playing. I'm not playing. Oh, let me dance. He charged all the bulbs in this building. We used it for BBS from beginning to end.
Okay, guys, but I hope you where did we stop?
I'm saying that you should think like that, to think problem solving instead of just enjoying the lecture and not fighting for your life.
That's the classroom. That's where we stop.
Yes.
Where did you where? Okay.
There was one time there was feedback in classroom, but there was no feedback down.
Okay.
So in that kind of situation, what should we do?
So let me start from there. Like I said, there is a splitter like this. This same splitter under the table where Unyeme sits. If you see sometimes when they say, oh, they say there is no signal, I'll ask, is there signal in pastoral office? They will say no. I say, is there signal in GAMCA? They say no. Is there signal in classroom? I say no. I say, call Unyeme. Why? I know that can only come from her. But once you say that there is signal in pastoral office, then trace your line here. That means that splitter that is upstairs, that is splitting to to pastoral office is on. And signal has left that splitter down here. Is that the connection here is bad. That's why you can't have signal on this screen. And once you get to that point where you don't have signal on this screen, then you have signal in classroom. The signal that comes through comes into this source and split here and split here. So how come it has gone here and not appear here? That means the problem is from this screen. Okay. So you see, this is the audio mixer from the third floor. This one goes, a channel goes into the live streaming, and then this guy takes off audio for Gamka overflow. So I'm going to show you something. Now, audio for Gamka overflow. Audio for Gamka overflow is a single signal that leaves the mixer, and that audio splits from the mixer to to pastoral office. Then from pastoral office, that single signal comes down here. It should be one of these cables. I think this is the cable. It takes the signal from the mixer there, it drives it completely down to this place and takes it from here into this audio mixer, and then from this audio mixer we split for classroom. That's why most times when you say there is no sound in Gamka and I get to pastoral office, I can stop at pastoral office and go back into the third floor, because on earth, why is there sound in pastoral office and you don't have sound in Gamka? That means your mixer here is not turned on. Yes. So I'll leave you at that point. But once I get to pastoral office, there is no audio, and there is no audio in Gamka, I'm the culprit. Do you understand? I don't think you do.
So you're saying that it comes from you first.
One signal. Now you know that for video, it goes to pastoral office separately, a separate channel. Then one channel comes to Gamka and splits to classroom. Now with audio, it's one signal that leaves the mixer, splits to pastoral office, another one splits to Gamka to classroom. But the only thing is that the volume level of what goes to classroom is controlled here in Gamka. Am I clear?
The audio signal, the way you splitted the single signal that came from the third floor, how did you split it? Knowing that audio does not use split at HDMI filter, is it that you can wire together, or what did you?
I'm coming now. So now there are different ways to take audio output. You can take audio outputs from the mixer port. Now let me say this before I even move on. Audio systems is in and out. The people that trained me, my boss, I remember my boss would say, if you can understand input and output, you have understood audio. I hope I didn't confuse anybody. It's same thing with this video thing. Input and output. Understanding what you want to achieve per time helps you understand, what am I in search for? Am I in search for an input signal? Am I in search for an output signal? So an output signal leaves the third floor, leaves this mixer, and comes into an input of this mixer here. Then the output of this mixer is the speakers. So one comes into the speaker and one goes into the other speaker. Do you understand? So I need a board. Oh. Do you understand what I just said? You don't understand? Beautiful. Audio is in and out. Don't forget, even if you don't remember anything I said today, not just audio, anything that has to do with audio visual is in and out. If you understand this, you understand routing. What comes into where and where does it feed to? That's in and out. That thing you used to say, oh, there's no feed, there's no output. That's the language for it.
That means routing has just one.
Routing has, yes, one in and one out. So two source, in and out source. Do you understand? So most times we make the mistake of dealing with output issues when it's an input problem. So like in the case of this mixer now, maybe you did not turn on your volume that receives. You know that when you say in, on this mixer, there is the in that receives what is coming from third floor into these mixers, and it's processed, and you now send it out. I wish I can unplug this mixer and bring it. Like, unplug everything and give me just the mixer. Let me show something, please. Sorry, you put it back. I think that's the better way I will be able to explain the audio thing. Able should do. I have. Thank you. So you see this mixer? This is a 4-channel mixer. Please pay careful attention for the overflow, guys. You need this like air. If you understand this thing I'm going to say now, I don't think I'll need to come down for prepare to meet your God Tarry. Let me be very sincere. I'll be in Ika. I need to be very sincere with you. I'll be in Ika. Friday morning, I don't take off the car. Yes, it's the same input and output. Now, isn't that they go do for your car? When they give you a screen that is as big as billboard and they tell you to put video on it, you know that you need to be in a car and put video on it. So, let me explain. These are called faders. Faders. Signal flow. You know, I talked about flow chart. What flow means is direction of signal. So when I use signal flow, understand what I mean. Signal flow. So signal comes from the third floor. You see that wire that follows? That wire ends with a connector that is plugged into this place. Do you understand? Yes. Once the connector is plugged into here, signal has entered this place. It's like plugging extension to socket. Signal comes, and from the first port of the extension, now with the extension, it doesn't work like light just flows through the entire extension. Now I have an extension upstairs that is like, it's called power sequencer. Signal does not move, like signal moves from port to port to port to port. It's processed like that. Now on this mixer, procession, treatment, let me use the word treatment. Is that thing you say, oh, treat my voice to sound like this. That treatment happens from this port. So when you plug, you see this knob, you use this knob to control the volume of what comes from upstairs.
So the red one.
Yes, and they call it gain. 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 G-A-I-N. Gain. Some people will say gain knob. If you're speaking with me, why I'm using all these terminologies is when you call me on the phone, I'm going to call the name that is on it. There are mixers you see and it's boldly written gain. There are mixers you see and it's written trim. What that is, you trim, is control for you to trim what is coming in. I can reduce this, and what that does is, so imagine if there is high volume coming from upstairs. You know that signal moves in current. If there is high signal coming from upstairs, maybe the volume level of what is sent from upstairs is too high, you use this guy to control it. You use this guy to treat it. This is the high frequency. The middle part of your voice, which is the low, the bass, here. And then there is some nice effect here, like reverb and delay, echo. That's what people call it. It's not echo. It's nothing like echo anyway. It's delay. I don't know who echoed the system. Echo is different from delay, but all of them do the same thing. Echo, so there are echoes you can't control, but with delay.
So in some mixers, it's written echo.
That's what I'm saying. Those mixers are very basic. They are not designed for more, how do I call it, multifunction procession. It's just a basic mixer. They just put echo, and if you see the echo, there you cannot. You've never seen a mixer you control echo. You can only control the volume of echo. You can't trim how the echo should be. If it should be, there are echoes that are ping pong, delays that are ping pong. I don't know if you listen to a music and you hear somebody say amen, and then you hear me. It bounces in your head. That's delay. Echo is uncontrollable. Only thing you can control in echo is volume. You increase the volume of the echo, and you reduce it. You cannot control how it bounces. Do you understand? This is heavy.
So how about mixers that have that mid something? What's the difference?
The one that has mid, the one that has mid, Emira no like you. He say, man, hold you mix and hold this mixer. Now the mixer, now sound. I'm not supposed to come here, but let me just do an overview. Sound is measured in spectrum. That's how sound is seen. It's seen in spectrum. There's the high frequency, there's the high mid, there's the low mid, and there's the low. What that does is, if you've seen those equalizers, we've had a device that has this equalizer. If you check that equalizer, you see that there are different numbering. Now there will be a day I'm going to teach on this so that you understand what this really does. When you understand, when you hear a sound that is muffled, you know what to do. You only walk away because you don't know what to do. That's why I can walk into this hall and I'm listening. I'm like, why is this like this? And I'll turn something and everything is just clear. In few seconds, everywhere is nice. How did I know those things? I've been to a birthday before. It was pastor's birthday in one hotel. And I walked into this place. I think pastor had arrived before me. I was busy trying to take pictures. But when I arrived, I entered the hall. I knew that if I stayed in that hall more than 10 minutes, I could have had a serious headache. So I moved to the sound, the DJ guy. I told him, please, can I help you? And he said yes. And in less than, I said, immediately I just put my hand to the mixer. And I just touched on the papa. I just see pastor turn from where he was sitting and looked at me and smiled. So later, the wife told me that when pastor entered that hall and heard that sound, he said, if is not in this hall. The wife said, how? He said, no, if Ifyo is in this hall, this sound will not, he won't even be able to stay. So when I came in, it was horrible that I couldn't stay. I had to go and touch the sound. And when I thought, everything became nice. Now, this is not brag. I'm saying this to encourage you that you can be like that. That you can walk into a space and you can figure out what is wrong and adjust it. Do you understand? Now, when the signal comes in, this guy controls the trim, controls the gain, controls that volume, that massive volume level that is coming from the third floor. Then what this guy does is, this guy now helps you to start processing it. So you can reduce, if the tweeters are too high, you can reduce it. If the thing is too bassy, you can handle it from here. Then if you need small reverb, like, oh, maybe you here, you now need effects for your people where they here. Then if you add effects now, no be waiting come from third floor, like waiting Moses they do most times. You go there here, they give on a vibe where no be waiting and send give up. This is Moses. Then you can pan either to the left or to the right. Now, in cases where, oh, what I'm about to say is going to be a bit confusing, but let me finish here. Thank you. Now, when you're done with all of those procession, it doesn't equal to what goes out. Do you understand? Do you understand what I just said? After you're done processing this thing, if you don't move this fader, no volume will go. You won't hear anything on the speaker. So now, for you to be able to activate, oh yeah, send it to the speaker, you push this guy up. What you're pushing here, the volume level you're sending here is what has been processed down to this guy. Once you push here, what happens is that the volume leaves here like this and comes to this guy. And then you push the volume here and the volume leaves here and goes to the speaker.
So that means if you don't adjust this volume,
if you don't push this guy, you won't activate this guy. Now trigger now. So this guy triggers this. Signal comes in, flows through. You trigger this guy and it triggers into this guy. That's how it works. Now let me explain situations where we are doing, we are playing music and what is playing in Gamka is different from what is playing in the classroom. Let me explain. Because this mixer is a left and right mixer, and when signal comes in, I can receive signal as a right and left signal. How do I receive signal as a right and left signal? This thing has a pan button. So I can either pan something to the left or I can pan something to the right. So when I pick the signal that came from the third floor, I plug it here. I pan it to my right. I pan it to my left. What I have done now is that I have told the signal that comes into this channel that, listen, I want you to play only on the left speaker. So I'll take the speaker that controls Gamka and plug to the left. Did you understand me? Mm-hmm. I now pick another cable and plug it to channel 2. When I plug it to channel 2, I now instruct my channel 2 that, listen, send that feed to right. I now plug classroom to output right. If I push the right volume, the only thing that is going to play there is what is playing in channel 2. What is playing in channel 1 will not go there. If I want to complicate it, I increase this thing and keep it somewhere here, or I keep it in the center, and you have what is playing in Gamka and playing in classroom, playing from one speaker, and there's chaos. So your audience can now riot and fight you. Please, is there anything you want me to explain?
So you're talking about plugging the speaker to the left. From that side. Can you show us the left and front?
When you turn the speaker, you see there's label left and right.
Yes. Very cool.
So this regarding this thing, is it possible that if you don't activate this one, you leave it here, that you push this one, you will now hear the raw sound of what's coming?
You will not hear any raw sound. This is what triggers this, like I said. If you don't activate it, you won't hear anything. It's like lights entering my house and I don't turn on my bulbs. And you now say, oh, because I did not turn on my bulbs, are you saying that there's no light in my house? There's no light in your house.
So that thing that used to happen during meeting, Sunday meeting, that we give that place to first timer, and this place will be for family meeting. That's what he just explained now. So if you understand this, you'll be able to do it. This feed will be, you will have feed from third floor here, and you will have feed from your computer playing video for the people over there.
So let me explain it. Sorry, please write down your question. Let me explain a typical Sunday morning. What happens here? On a typical Sunday morning, if we are to have our family meeting happen on the other side and we have overflow, sorry, the first timers here, that's the question I was expecting to hear. So how do you send video from third floor to those guys and play different video here? All you need to do is, because signal comes from the third floor and the signal ends here and is splitted, all you need to do is to disconnect this screen from the splitter and the signal will go to classroom. And you now hook this guy to a laptop you want to use to play something for the first timers and apply this audio principle. And you have audio and video placed separately here, while the whatever is happening at the third floor placed in the classroom. Now, reverse is the case. You can, whatever how you want to do your design. If you understand in and out, you can now use your brain to factor how you want your design to look like.
Another question. Please, that thing that happened, the PTY that we had then, not PTY, sorry, we were prepared to meet your God, that we wanted to split, we wanted to connect an amplifier to this. So can you explain that situation?
So simple. Since it's same thing, it's just that with the amplifier is a bigger system. Same procession. So signal comes from the third floor. I hold down the signal from the third floor, convert the signal into the power amplifier. The power amplifier has 4 channels. So I take input 1. Input 1 goes from channel 1 to channel 2 to channel 3 to channel 4. Now that thing has 4 volume controls. So I have one Gamka connected to channel 1. I have classroom connected to channel 2. I have salt of the earth connected to channel 3. Reasons why I do it like that is that if I put everything in one channel, one speaker, a speaker that has a high power impedance, what that means is a speaker that has the ability to receive more energy will play louder than the one that does not have. So what I do is I place the sound in a way that I have volume control for each of the halls. So that if I want to increase classroom, I can increase a classroom from its channel. If I want to increase or reduce salt of the air, I can reduce, and Gamka can be loud. Do you understand what I just said? Let this guy ask question, please.
Sorry, the trigger for the output. Is it the same trigger that
That's what I'm saying, yes. Whatever comes in, see, whatever comes in here, the only way it can go here is for you to push this guy up.
That's why I'm asking. This particular one, this red one.
The red one?
Yes.
Now, the red one is the volume of your output.
Left and right.
Yes.
So just to be sure.
So if you want to bind left and right together, all you need to do is to just keep this knob in the center and you're not splitting anything. Both left and right will be controlled by the same volume.
No, I do understand.
Remove these
So
glasses.
if you have the vertical for it, so that we can see all those connections. Yes.
It's just that I could have said it will be practical on Friday, but Friday you won't even have me on Thursday. I'll be in Ika. No, Ika is from tomorrow morning. No. Ika is from tomorrow morning. No.
So, Mr. Ifyo, from what you said if you are connecting the amplifier for sort of the edge, you are going to connect it to the.
Let me explain something. You see this? You see this? You see this amplifier now? You can do multiple loop. Like I said, understand in and out. This is an output source. If you see aux send out. Have you seen? Yes. You see main out, left and right. Turn the speaker. You see speaker out, left and right. There's another one here, record, left and right. So if you plug a sound card to this guy, you can record from this mixer. There was a period we used to have meetings here, and when we will have meetings here, we just bring a sound card hitch to here, connect to a laptop, and we are recording clean audio from this place. Do you understand? Yes, like I said, it's input and output. I can bring a mixer, and I have a cable that can take this cable now. I can take feed from this aux now and put in that power amplifier and supply salt of the earth without tampering what's happening here. It's in and out. Do you understand what I just said? Like I said, it's in and out. You have in on your power amplifier that we are using for salt of the earth. You have out on the power amplifier that goes to salt of the earth.
Those are off questions to use this mic.
Do you understand what I mean?
Let him finish. Let him finish this thought.
But do you understand what I just said now?
Yes.
See. Don't trouble your head. Relax. Don't trouble your head. Understand in and out. Can you slow down? If you understand in and out, you will be able to route anything. Like I said, signal comes into this guy and is processed, and signal goes out. If you can understand that, you will route anything, you will connect anything. Because why? You understand the concept of in and out. So when you see a system, you'll be looking out for input and output.
Okay, so could we say that relating to the younger minds bulb lighting, where you put bulb battery directly to bulb, then you run another wire from that bulb connection to another bulb, and there's a feel that the first bulb is brighter than the other ones that you connected, but when you run it through a switch,
Yes.
they all can have the same current. So could we relate that to this?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So another thing I would like to highlight is, let me tell you why it sounds very difficult. Do you know why? You're already seeing it as a big deal in your head. I say the person that trained me, he has never held my hand to say, this is speaker, this one is this. The first and the last class I had with him did not last up to 10 minutes. He gave me books. Taste books. You study David Rath, you study this one, you study that one. Use of microphone, I read it in a taste book. So when you hear me talk about microphones, depth. I can tell you, and I understand microphones, not because of anything, because I took time, I sat on it because I had a microphone problem in this church. I said, no, you see this thing, I must understand this thing. I have a manual, a training manual that is very detailed, broken down, but I had a problem, and that problem led me to that place. The only thing that guy told me, I met him in this Dunamis, Paul Eneche came, the day they came to launch this church. I went to him, he looked at me, said, Baba, is in and out. Till today, even see him go smile. He go say, remember what I tell you? I said, sir. He said, in and out.
So, Mr. Ifyok, in summary, can we say the output from this guy is entering to the input of the amplifier, and the amplifier now
power another hole.
like outputs to the speaker.
Simple.
Just like the
Multiple loops. In and
out.
So,
Understand this.
why I'm saying this is, if you understand this thing, you will not be afraid of signal that is coming from the tape floor. Oh, you understand that that signal is coming from the tape floor is input. So where do I plug my input on this mixer? You plug it. I have plugged my input now. You can start seeing your signal read on the mixer. Why is it not playing on the speaker? Check your output functionality. It's either your output volume level is down. We have to, because it's left and right. In every system you have left and right. Your ears, you have two. I should question why you have 2 ears. And one thing I would like to tell you about sound, people don't hear from behind. I don't know, I've been in funny spaces where they keep sound from the back. I don't know who are those guys.
Sir, please, before you end this class, there is one question I want to ask. That reaction interference that used to occur with microphone and speaker, can you please just brief us and
Okay, so let me explain. The speaker and the microphone system, they are same design. I don't know who has ever seen a diaphragm of a microphone before.
Yeah.
The thing that receives, the thing that translates your acoustic waves to electric waves.
That's small.
It's a converter. Small thing like this, has magnet in front of it.
Yes.
Who has seen a speaker this thing before? Diaphragm before?
system they borrow to build this mic.
Do you understand? This your speaker too has the same diaphragm. The only difference is in and out. This one takes things in, this one sends things
Out.
The difference is
In and out. He has not finished. Are you done?
What do you want
with
me
that
to say?
interference now? Why is he doing?
why does it interface?
Yes.
Two things happen. There's something called phasing. When you play it's like placing magnets in light poles, right? You take magnets. Let me show you practical. You see this thing now? I turn it upside down and I bring it close. It doesn't come together. But I turn it the other way and I bring it and it comes together. When you place magnet in front of magnet, that happens. And that's what interferes. I think that's the simplest way I can explain it. If I place this microphone and this microphone in the same direction, phasing will happen. The same thing that happens with speaker to microphone will happen between microphones.
Is it the normal?
When pastor turns on, if you notice, there are periods where pastor, the handheld microphone is on and the overhead is on and the sound volume will drop. That's what happens. I only understand that thing and I'll off one to raise back the volume level. But people that are there, they won't understand why the volume level drop. And you say, you're busy saying increase pastor's volume. No, I can't increase to what? Right. It's because you don't understand what's happening there. It's called phasing. That thing where when a microphone is inside the electrode is on and you're handling another microphone and it's on, interference is happening. It's because you not hear those kind of interference. Those are the kind of interference I will hear. Because I understand how that reaction happens. The one with speaker, that when again, if you're going to do basic audio training, I would explain equalizer and explain unwanted frequencies. If you have noticed in our halls, it's very rare you see when they pass a speaker in front of the microphone to make noise. But in traditional sound space events, different places, it's very common. It's because you've not treated your equalizer well. It took me almost a month to be able to figure out different frequencies and tame them. By taming them, I reduce them. So by taming those frequencies, we can move microphones easily around the hall and we don't have all those feedbacks, different things, yes. There are periods I will come here on a Saturday, I will turn on the sound system and all I'm trying to kill is that frequencies. I'll move the microphones in front of the frequency, in front of the microphone, in front of the speakers, yes, to be sure that that does not exist in the hall.
So it's the equalizer that is responsible.
There are different factors responsible for it. There are different things, but one of the factors that controls that is equalizer. If you know how to use your equalizer well, I've been to a church.
Equalizer, you talk about the inbuilt amp.
equalizer or the
There
external?
are different equalization. In digital, let me say it now. In digital systems, you will not see that equalizer you're looking for. Do you understand? But in analog systems, you will see a physical equalizer. Can you listen to me? You ask question, I'm trying to answer you. You're laughing.
No, you're the one laughing. I'm listening to it, sir. Response, sir.
You see how we suffer because of these things?
I know, sir.
You're supposed to relate well.
This is an equalizer. This is called parametric. This is an equalizer. This is called graphic. Do you understand? This guy controls what you send out. This guy controls what comes in. That's what I'm saying now. You can still have an external equalizer placed on top of this guy with all this equalization. Now let me explain something to you. Different people have their different methods of taming sound. I can tell you, oh, I'm comfortable with. Now the digital mixer upstairs has a 30 band EQ. That's the central EQ. What 30 band means is it breaks down the frequency into 30 places. So like this your voice now, it will take your voice texture, break it into 30 stops. Now in that 30 stops, I can control each element of your voice. This one is 5 band. This one is 2 band. I can only control high and low. Do you understand? This one controls 5. I can control 5 segments of your voice. The one upstairs has 30. Then individual channel has 3. Some has 4. Individual channel. That's a lot of EQ if you know what to do. So I don't need many EQs. Now, if I wanted more for my systems, now if we're going to increase into using crossovers and subwoofers, the bass vibration, I will need EQ. But I will not need the traditional EQ. I will need a digital EQ. That EQ is going to have compressor and all the accessories in it. And it's digital. It's a screen. Small guy. Why I'm saying this is let me explain something to you. Darlington is creating content. This content is creating is based on what he wants to use it for. If I was to create this content now, I will have a bigger setup. It's based on what I want to achieve. If Pastor was to be here now, Pastor will say, let's live stream because we want to show the people in the US. Pastor has a concept. He has what he's trying to achieve. We all have what we are trying to achieve with individual designs. In our case, for Gamka, this is what we are trying to achieve. All we want is a simple sound system and a simple display. Do you understand me? At the 3rd floor, all we want is a simple design that can give us video streaming, this, that, and that. Now, there are complicated systems. When you go out, like this event I'm talking about in Ika now, I'm going to be feeding a big screen. I'm going to be sending feed to different places. Do you understand? That design can demand different things from me. But when I come back to the 3rd floor in a small screen, it doesn't have a bigger demand from me. Do you understand? When you go to the stadium, it's the same setup that is done at the 3rd floor that is done in the stadium. The only difference between the 3rd floor and the stadium is demand. Stadium demands line array systems, all those curve systems. The 3rd floor needs just a pair of full range and live is good. I'm trying to explain that whatever you know now is not just maxed to this space. It's the general knowledge of audio. So don't let anybody confuse you with EQ and YQ and CQ. They all equalize. It's in your phone. Enjoy EQ on your phone. If I get to teach you about EQ, you will have a better music experience. I'm serious. I'm not even kidding.
So I just wanted a little recap on the practical session of connecting a feed from upstairs and then to connect feed from upstairs and then from the laptop you're using to project something here. In the case of non-family meeting and then family meeting. So let's say we take we put an input on this channel from that laptop, right, and then treat what you want to treat here, and then get another input from 3rd floor and put here, treat what you want to treat. Then you activate, you pan this to the left,
And pan the other one to the right.
And pan the other one to the right. Activate using this and this, and then adjust using this and this for left and right accordingly. So if there are two speakers here, how would you?
If there are two speakers here, you bind this and this to one source.
Okay. So is it the wire that is?
One wire will come out of this mixer from one channel and feed this guy, and you're fine.
I think that's what you even did here now.
Yes, I did the loop before.
Okay.
Then one channel will go to classroom.
It's classroom. Okay. That's pretty clear.
I think we are good.
Yes, boss.
Father, we thank you for an opportunity to learn. We ask, oh God, that you give us privilege to learn even more. Father, may the things we've been taught today and the things you have laid us to talk about and learn, Father, may it stick to our minds. Help us to make proper use of this knowledge we've gotten today, oh God. I ask, oh God, that you help us to be good custodians of the things you have given us, Father. Help us to do better. Help us, oh God. And help us to be able to transfer this knowledge to others. Thank you, Father. For in Jesus' mighty name we pray. Father, as we go, we ask, oh God, that you grant us journey mercies, provide for us, for those of us that are going to eat. Father, I ask that you bless our bread and water. Let it do us well. For in Jesus' mighty name, amen. Please.